Okay, guys, I'm back. You guys know my space will only give me so much on my phone. But anyway, when I'm recording it like this. So yeah, I believe it was Elijah. I don't want to go looking for it because then I'm gonna want to read it. But because we're gonna continue reading. But like Elijah, he had did a favor for someone, I believe, and the man was thinking that he did it on behalf of himself, but he was like, no, basically, like paraphrasing, I'm not doing this for you. It's not even because of you. Was that Elijah? I believe it was Elijah instead of Jeremiah. I believe it was Elijah, but that's what's coming to me too. Okay, so yeah, let's keep on reading, guys. But the men of God answered the king, even if you were to give me half your possessions, I would not go with you, nor would I eat bread or drink water here. For I was commanded by the word of the Lord, you must not eat bread or drink water or return by the way you came. So he took another road and did not return by the way he had come to Bethel. Now there was a certain old prophet living in Bethel, whose sons came and told him all that the men of God had done there that day. They also told their father what he had said to the king. Their father asked him, which way did he go? And his son showed him which road the man of God from Judah had taken. So he said to his sons, saddle the donkey for me. And when they had saddled the donkey for him, he mounted it and rode after the man of God. He found him, hold on, what's going to happen? Let's see. He found him sitting under an oak tree and asked, are you the man of God who came from Judah? Wait, I want to see what's going on, because why are you following him? Hold on, let's read, guys, so we can see. Are you the man of God who came from Judah? I am, he replied. So the prophet came to him. So the prophet said to him, come home with me and eat. The man of God said, I cannot turn back and go with you, nor can I eat bread or drink water with you in its place. That is a word for somebody. It's certain places and people that will cause you more harm than good. So God, give us warning and show us things so that we don't get entrapped, right? I can't tell you how many videos we have on here talking about that with Bible to back it up. But let's keep reading. I have been told by the word of the Lord. Let me do that. The Lord. You must not eat bread or drink water there or return by the way you came. The old prophet answered, I too am a prophet as you are. Just lying. You know what this reminds me of when we did our Joshua series, when the man came to Joshua. I don't want to go there because y'all know I genuinely love just reading the Bible. But I'm going to just give you reference. I'm not going to read it. Just hold on, guys. They had lied to them. They had came to him and they lied, talking about they was on a faraway journey and they had this old bread and they clothes, and they was lying and they didn't consult the Lord, but they had already entered in covenant with them, like basically that they wouldn't hurt them. And I think they made them be like woodcutters and stuff. And what chapter is that? Yeah, it's this. It's Joshua 9, the Gibeonite deception. That's reminding me of this with this man just lying like that. Yeah. Okay, I too am a prophet as you are. And an angel said to me by the word of the Lord, bring him back with you to your house so that he may eat bread and drink water. But he was lying to him. So the man of God returned with him and ate and drank in his house. And then he had already heard what the Lord had told him. He had already had a word from the Lord. You know, so these false prophets and these people, like, you must be mindful, guys. Because let's see what's going to happen to this man. Goodness. Okay. He returned with him and ate him and drank in his house. And remember, guys, we were talking about before, like if the enemy can't get you in one area, he'll try to come in another area. This man of God delivered the word and was on his way. You know, he was under the oak tree. And then this demonic spirit, because it's a lying spirit. And God is not a liar. So this spirit is not from, you know, it's deceiving. So you just be mindful. So let's see what happened to him, guys. While they were sitting at the table, the word of the Lord came to the old prophet who had brought him back. He cried out to the man of God who had come from Judah. This is what the Lord says. You have defied the word of the Lord and have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. Oh, wow. Let's read. You came back and ate bread and drank water in the place where he told you not to eat or drink. Therefore, your body will not be buried in the tomb of your fathers, which means pretty much no honor, because it was an honor to be buried among your fathers, your ancestors, those that passed before you, that's like in your family line, you know. Oh my gosh. So when the man of God had finished eating and drinking, the prophet who had brought him back saddled his donkey for him. As he went on his way, a lion met him on the road. Wow. And killed him, and his body was thrown down on the road. Jesus. Oh wow, was thrown down on the road with both the donkey and the lion standing beside it. Some people who passed by saw the body thrown down there with the lion standing beside the body, and they went and reported it in the city where the old prophet lived. And who's to say what this man life, the man of God from Judah, what his life would have been like, or what other messages or missions he would have had for God if he just would not have went back with that man. So, wow. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second to just process that, because, excuse me, wow. Okay, so, and the lion standing beside it. Some people who passed by saw the body thrown down there with the lion standing beside the body, and they went and reported it in the city where the old prophet lived. When the prophet who had brought him back from his journey heard of it, he said, "It is the man of God who defied the word of the Lord. The Lord has given him over to the lion, which has mauled him and killed him, as the word of the Lord had warned him." And the Bible do tell us in Proverbs that warning does come before destruction. The prophet said to his sons, "Saddle the donkey for me," and they did so. Then he went out and found the body thrown down on the road with the donkey and the lion standing beside it. The lion had neither eaten the body nor mauled the donkey. So the prophet picked up the body of the man of God, laid it on the donkey, wow, and brought it back to his own city to mourn for him and bury him. Then he laid the body in his own tomb, and they mourned over him and said, "Oh, my brother." Yeah, for real, because that is like really crazy. After burying him, he said to his sons, "When I die, bury me in the grave where the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones." For the message he declared by the word of the Lord against the altar in Bethel and against all the shrines on the high places in the towns of Samaria will certainly come true. Even after this, Jeroboam did not change his evil ways, but once more appointed priests for the high places from all sorts of people. Anyone who wanted to become a priest, he consecrated for the high places. This was the sin of the house of Jeroboam that led to its downfall and to its destruction from the face of the earth. Wow. So we're going to talk about, guys, I wasn't expecting to go this long, but I might as well, because I'm going to get back to what I was doing. But I really actually want to read some more. So we're going to read some more. If you guys want to keep reading along with me, that's great, and thank you. But for you that may need to pause the video and come back at a later time, whatever works for you. But let's just keep reading. So let's see what 14 is talking about. Ahijah's prophecy against Jeroboam. And what else is talking about? Rehoboam, king of Judah. And I did just bear with me a second. I did a like when we first started this series with the reading for this month, I gave you guys an outline. We read an introduction and outlined the contents of what it'll be talking about. And also I gave you guys like an outline of what each chapter would be talking about. But since we almost pretty much done with this series, 15 is going to be talking about Ahijah, king of Judah, because I want to see Asa, king of Judah, Nadab, king of Israel, Baasha, king of Israel. 16 is continuing on. Elah, king of Israel, Zimri, king of Israel, Omri, king of Israel, Ahab becomes king of Israel. Okay, I'm familiar with this. 17, Elijah. We did a lot of series on Elijah and videos on him. We talked about Ahab, Jezebel, all that stuff. Elijah fed by ravens in 17, the widow at Zarephath. We read this a lot of times too. Elijah in Obadiah, 18, Elijah on Mount Carmel. Elijah flees to Horeb in 19. The Lord appears to Elijah. 20 is Ben-Hadad attacks Samaria. Ahab defeats Ben-Hadad. And then a prophet condemns Ahab. Y'all remember this? 21 is Naboth's vineyard. 22 is Micaiah prophesies against Ahab. And what else? Ahab killed that Ramoth Gilead. Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, Ahijah, king of Israel, and then Second Kings. If we have time, guys, this month we're gonna get into Second Kings. But if not, I know definitely he wanted us to focus on First Kings, so that's what we've been doing. Okay, so let's jump back to 14. I'm doing my best to upload and stay consistent with the channel as best as I possibly can, guys. So Ahijah's prophecy against Jeroboam. So at that time, Abijah. Okay, so it's Ahijah and Abijah. Okay, yeah, just like when we just was reading and it was Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, at that time, Abijah, son of Jeroboam, became ill. And Jeroboam said to his wife, "Go disguise yourself so you won't be recognized as the wife of Jeroboam. Then go to Shiloh." And Shiloh is a very symbolic place, guys. Ahijah the prophet is there, the one who told me I would be king over this people. Take 10 loaves of bread with you, some cakes, and a jar of honey, and go to him. He will tell you what will happen to the boy. So Jeroboam's wife did what he said and went to Ahijah's house in Shiloh. Guys, 1 second, please. Okay, so he will tell you what will happen to the boy. So Jeroboam's wife did what he said and went to Ahijah's house in Shiloh. Now Ahijah could not see. His sight was gone because of his age. But the Lord had told Ahijah, "Jeroboam's wife is coming to ask you about her son." See how God be looking at all the time? "For he is ill, and you are to give her such and such an answer." See, he already let him know what the play is. When she arrives, she will pretend to be someone else. See, don't never underestimate your time with God, your relationship with him, your discernment, your wisdom, Holy Spirit in your life, just in you knowing God's voice for yourself. Because see, God already told him what it's going to be. Yeah. So when Ahijah heard the sound of her footsteps at the door, he said, "Come in, wife of Jeroboam. Why this pretense? Why are you playing games? I have been sent to you with bad news. Go tell Jeroboam that this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I raised you up from among the people and made you a leader over my people Israel. I tore the kingdom away from the house of David and gave it to you, but you have not been like my servant David, who kept my commands and followed me with all his heart, doing only what was right in my eyes. You have done more evil than all who lived before you. You have made for yourself other gods, idols made of metal. You have provoked me to anger and thrust me behind your back. Because of this, I am going to bring disaster on the house of Jeroboam. I will cut off from Jeroboam every last male in Israel, slave or free." Goodness. "I will burn up the house of Jeroboam," excuse me, guys, "as one burns dung." And we know what dung is, right? "Until it is all gone. Dogs will eat those belonging to Jeroboam who die in the city." Well, when this man said, "I have been sent to you with bad news," oh yeah, this is wow. Until it is all gone. "Dogs will eat those belonging to Jeroboam who die in the city, and the birds of the air will feed on those who die in the country. The Lord has spoken. As for you, go back home. When you set foot in your city, the boy will die." Oh, wow. My goodness. "All Israel will mourn for him and bury him. He is the only one belonging to Jeroboam who will be buried, because he is the only one in the house." Wow, that is a shame. "In the house of Jeroboam, in whom the Lord, the God of Israel, has found anything good." But at least the boy was buried, and kids are innocent, so at least he was buried. But this is like, wow. Y'all seen this when we just was reading this? Oh, wow. Okay, let's keep reading, guys. "The Lord will raise up for himself a king over Israel who will cut off the family of Jeroboam. This is the day." What? "Yes, even now." Oh, wow. Well, let me read that again. This is in the Bible. Look, it says, "This is the day." What? "Yes, even now. And the Lord will strike Israel so that it will be like a reed swaying in the water. He will uproot Israel from this good land that he gave to their forefathers and scatter them beyond the river." And also, that's like the Euphrates in the footnotes and B, "because they provoked the Lord to anger by making Asherah poles," the goddess Asherah, right? "And he will give Israel up because of the sins Jeroboam has committed and has caused Israel to commit." And then even how this man actions didn't just affect him, but it affected people in his child. have to suffer because of his decision. So again, going back to that, like, our decisions don't just affect us, they affect others. Like when I had my son, like even when I first found out I was pregnant with him and I had him, your mindset changes as a parent. It does. You that are aunts and uncles and guardians on here or have kids, or even if you don't have kids, just kids that you may be close to, but you're like a guardian or a parent figure in that person's life. Your mindset changes, your whole life changes, and it's like you make decisions based off. You try to make decisions based off what God is doing. Doing your best to make God led decisions. Do the right thing in your life, not just for you, but for the child and just for other people, because it's bigger than you. It's about purpose and destiny. And then you don't want you want generational blessings and stuff too. We got a lot of videos on that. And then you think about the betterment of your seed. There's a lot of things that I can do, but I won't do because it's like I have to think about my son, in terms of location, in terms of different things that I may have wanted to do that were good things, that were great things, but that's not what God had for me, or it may not be the time, or that's not God. That's a good thing, but it's not God's best for what He wants. So you got to be mindful. So just this, what this little boy had to die, that's sad. So it's just things to think about. You think about the betterment of them. You always want them to have better than you. You want them to go further. I've shared that over the years, with that, and we have videos talking about different things like that too. But yeah, that's just sad to me because the boy didn't have nothing to do with it. But because if you think about it, it's like, even though he's innocent, but that phrase guilty by association says so much, and that's his dad. So that was a deep association. But at least he was buried. So it says has found. Okay, because he is the only one in the house of Jeroboam. We're going to close soon, guys. We're just going to finish up this chapter. In whom the Lord, the God of Israel, has found anything good. Okay, so let's jump back down. We read 14, so we read 15 as well. Okay, and I believe we read 16. Okay, so and he will give Israel up because of the sins Jeroboam has committed and has caused Israel to commit. Then Jeroboam's wife got up and left and went to Tirzah. As soon as she stepped over the threshold of the house, the boy died. That's like as soon as you open the door and you walk. It's like as soon as you unlock your front door and you go through your front door, you crossing over from outside to go inside. The boy died. Wow. They buried him, and all Israel mourned for him, as the Lord had said through his servant the prophet Ahijah. The other events of Jeroboam's reign, his wars, and how he ruled are written in the book of the annals of the kings of Israel. He reigned for 22 years and then rested with his fathers, and Nadab his son succeeded him as king. So let's talk about Rehoboam, king of Judah, and then we're going to close with this. We're going to do 21 through 31. Yeah, you guys can let me know below. Yeah, that's 31. Okay. And if you guys want, you can let me know in the comments what stood out to you. I get a lot of emails from you guys with the Bible studies have helped you go deeper. It's a blessing to you because some of you are probably like not big into reading, or you may be a certain season or whatever, or you just like reading along, and I thank God for that. And guys, these testimonies just keep on coming in of certain prophetic words that was released, and you guys are seeing manifestation, or they've been coming in over the years, and it's like they're daily coming in to me on text messages, calls, emails from so many of you. So I am not shocked that God did it because he said he would do it, but I'm just blown away at the way that he's moving. So, I mean, you that is like genuinely here, God is moving in your life. And I don't say that just to say it. I say it because that's what I see and that's what he's doing. So I just give God all the glory for however you've been blessed on this channel, whether it been through devotionals, prayers, the videos, one-on-one time with me, the live phone conference classes, our chats. Some of you have been having me pour into one-on-one, whatever it may be, the Bible study package, whatever, the videos, whatever. I just give God all the glory, and I'm thankful for what God have done in y'all life, what he's doing and what he will do. So just continue to keep your hand in him because it's all him. We all just willing vessels. All the glory is being pointed back to him. And we just want to hear well done. And we just want to build up, like you guys, want to build up others as well. And just continue to encourage your brother and sister. As we are encouraged, we encouraging others. And other people is encouraging us. So, glory to God is all I can say. All right, Rehoboam, son of Solomon, was king in Judah. He was 41 years old when he became king, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city of the Lord had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel in which to put his name. His mother's name was Naamah. She was an Ammonite. Okay, Judah did evil in the eyes of the Lord. By the sins they committed, they stirred up his jealous anger more than their fathers had done. They also set up for themselves high places, sacred stones, and the Asherah poles on every high hill and under every spreading tree. There were even male shrine prostitutes in the land. The people engaged in all the detestable practices, so it's kind of like anything goes with them, of the nations the Lord had driven out before the Israelites. In the 5th year of King Rehoboam, Shishak, king of Egypt, attacked Jerusalem. He carried off the treasures of the temple of the Lord and the treasures of the royal palace. He took everything, including all the gold shields Solomon had made. So King Rehoboam made bronze shields to replace them and assigned these to the commanders of the guard on duty at the entrance to the royal palace. Whenever the king went to the Lord's temple, the guards bore the shields, and afterward they returned them to the guard room. As for the other events of Rehoboam's reign and all he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Judah? There was continual warfare between Rehoboam and Jeroboam, and Rehoboam rested with his fathers and was buried with them in the city of David. His mother's name was Naamah. She was an Ammonite, and Ahijah, his son, succeeded him as king. And then going back to the footnotes, that's Ahijah. Okay, guys, so perfectly y'all enjoyed Bible study. I'm not sure if I'm going to record this today. Oh, I already recorded it. See, I got to get back to what I'm doing, guys. And I'm getting to be a little sleepy too, but I got to finish that assignment up as well after I close this. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload this video today or early tomorrow. I'm not sure, but whenever you guys get it, that's when I uploaded it. Okay, but thanks for tuning in, and you guys be blessed.